Hello everyone and welcome to my YouTube channel. In this particular video, I will show you how to use the Gemini API and set it up into your Google Colab or into your computer. We will go over various Python functions like creating text and understanding the images. Gemini is the generative model which is released by the Google. Gemini model is come up with three different versions: Gemini Ultra, Gemini Pro and Gemini Nano. Gemini Ultra is the largest and most advanced generative model that can perform complex tasks, and Gemini Pro is balanced model that has good performance and scalability. And Gemini Nano is most efficient for mobile devices. But right now we only have free access to Gemini Pro and Gemini Pro Vision through Google AI Studio with up to 60 requests per minute. To use Gemini API, we first need API key and we can get it from Google AI Studio. Let me show you how you can download Gemini API key. Just open your favorite browser and type Google AI Studio. After opening the Google AI Studio, just on the left side you can see the get API key. Just click on it and create API key. After creating the API key, just copy the API key and set into the environment variable in the Google Colab. In order to set the API in Google Colab, you can see the key icon on the left of your Google Colab. Just click on it and you can create new secrets and paste the copied key value of your API into the value tab and set the your favorite name. In my case, I have set the Gemini key. After setting it up all the things, now we need to install the API, which is the Google Generative AI. Let's install our generative AI key, API key. So let's install by just writing the pip install. After installing the API, now we import some important libraries and as well as the generative Google Generative AI. And I am importing Google.generative AI as a Gen AI, and we also import operating system, and we also importing user data from Google.Colab because we need to access our API key. So we can access it easily through user data. And I am also importing the markdown from python.display because we have to print the generated text in markdown format. That's why I am importing this here. Let's give our Gemini API to the Google Generative AI. So let's import the libraries and run the this cell. After setting up all the things, now we are able to use Gemini Pro model. And in order to use Gemini Pro model, let's first download the Gemini model, and we can use Gen AI and dot generative model and pass the name of our model. In our case, we are testing with our Gemini API, so that's why I am passing Gemini Pro here. And to generate content is now very simple. Just pass the prompt to the generate content, and the generated content will be saved in this response, and we can access it from response.txt. Let first run the cell and generate our content. As you can see, our model is downloaded and it has generated the content, but now let's print the text that is saved in response. Let's run the cell and you can see it is generating the content on the prompt of explaining the quantum computing, and this is the raw text that our model just created, and we can make it as a markdown just by placing the response in a markdown. So let's print this generated text in a markdown format. As you can see, it print all the raw text in a markdown format. Like this is how our Gemini model is generating content just by giving the prompt. But we can also set up the model to have a back and forth chat session. This way the model remember the context and response using the previous conversations. So let's have a chat with our Gemini API. So let's first download our Gemini Pro model, and one extra step we are doing here is just model dot start chat, and all the chat will be saved in a history, and we will send message to this chat variable. So let's run the cell. After running the cell, let's send the prompt to this chat, and in my case I am using what is quantum physics, and print all the generated context in a markdown format. As you can see, our model is explaining us what is quantum physics, and let's send one more prompt to our model, and now we are sent ask to the model explain me LLMs in a simple words. Let's run the cell, and now you can see the model is explaining us how LLMs works and what is LLM is actual, right? And now the those questions that we just asked to the model are saved as a history in a chat, and we can also display them as a markdown style. Let's display our asked prompt to the model and their responses as well. So let's run this cell and see our history what we just asked to our model. And as you can see in a user, this is the prompt that we ask to the model, and this is the response of our prompt. And we ask two questions. First is the what is quantum physics, and second is what explain me the LLM in simple words. And you can see how our model saved the prompt, and this is how our Gemini Pro model generate content by getting the prompt. We can also test our Gemini Pro model with image, and so let's get into it. And now we are going to use Gemini Pro Vision, which is a large language vision model that can understand input from the text and visual as well to generate the relevant responses. Gemini Pro is a foundation model that performs well at a variety of the multimodal tasks such as visuals, understanding, classification, summarization, and creating content from the image and videos. So in order to test our Gemini Pro model, we need an image. So let's first import our image. In my case, I have a image of Tesla truck. Just copy the path of the image and paste into here, so we can read the image and print the image as well. Okay, after loading the image, let's load the Gemini Pro Vision model and provide it with the image. So in order to load the model, we need to pass Gemini Pro Vision to the generative model and pass the above image to the Gemini Pro Vision model. Let's run the cell and see what kind of content our Gemini Pro Vision model generated by understanding the context and visuals from the image. And you can see that our model identify accurately the visuals of the image and provided it with the information about the image. And you can see this is our Tesla Cybertruck, and the model also printing and generating the context about the Tesla Cybertruck. And we can also provide the text as well as image to the API, and we have to ask the vision model to write the blog post using that image as a reference. So let's pass the prompt as well as image to the model, and in my case we are giving the prompt to the model and asking it to write a blog post about the image as a reference. And let's run the cell. You can see it generate the blog post about the image that we just pass right there. And you can see how we can utilize the power of this free Gemini Pro and Gemini Pro Vision model API. That's it guys for today's video. If you like this video, thumbs up and share it with your friends, and subscribe to my YouTube channel, and I will see you in the next video.